Hi everyone. There's loads of you in way before me. Oh, I'm a little bit late though, aren't I? So I do apologise. um, Betty, hello. Nicola, hello. Maggie, Darlene, Nanny to the girls. Hi everyone from a beautiful, warm, sunny day in central Wisconsin. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Um, I'm not jealous at all. It's rainy and miserable and yucky here. Karen, hello. Oh, I've just oh, there we are. Being here this evening has confused me. I've spent all day thinking it's Thursday. Oh, welcome to my world, Karen. There's numerous times today I sort of panicked because obviously it's my grandson's birthday tomorrow, and because I've been prepping all day, it's sort of I've done exactly the same, thinking, "Oh my God," and then realizing that everything's fine. Suffolk, the heating is on. It's not that cold here yet. Although I'm menopausal, aren't I? So it's not for me. Maybe for everyone else it is. But we haven't got the heating on just yet, but I'm sure it won't be long. Nicola's just about to put hers on. Terrible rain on the coast in Virginia yesterday. Where was we yesterday? What did we do? Oh, I took Alice to the doctor's yesterday, and it was that windy that it nearly blew both of us off our feet. It sort of scooped us, and then we panicked a little bit. So it was quite windy yesterday. I don't like the wet and cold. I'm off to my happy place Saturday. We're not jealous, Nicola. Not at all. I don't like the cold weather. I like autumn, when it's sort of in between. You don't necessarily need a coat, maybe just a chunky cardigan. I like it when it's like that. Shannon's just walked into the door. Well, hello. Nicola's off to Tenerife. She's not making us jealous at all. Hello, Anna Marie. No, none of us are jealous at all. Laura, hello. I can't believe it's been a year at all. It has flown so much. Let me see if I can find a little picture of him for you. Because he's adorable. He's so blooming beautiful. Bear with me because I know I've got some somewhere. Oh. So the husband's printed a few pictures off because we're going to put them in some frames. So this is Theo. He's teething at the minute, so he's constantly covered in slather. It is in the blink of an eye. Let's see what else we've got here. I'll just show you a couple. He's the happiest little boy I've ever met. He's always smiling. Here's a more recent one. He looks more like a toddler than a baby there, doesn't he? But he's always smiling. He's always happy. He's just the most, I could squeeze him so much. I won't, but I could do. Oh, last one. He's just gorgeous and happy all the time. So there we go. A little show and tell of my grandson. So yes, one tomorrow. It goes so fast, doesn't it? He really has got the most kissable cheeks. Darlene, your oldest grandson is 26. Oh gosh. So my son Joseph is 28. I think he's 28 because I've just gone 48. I was 20 when I had Joseph. I think it's the only reason I remember how old I am, because there's exactly sort of that 20 years between us. So if I remember his age, I just need to add 20. Is it 20? I just need to add that equal number on and I'm sorted. Gaz is here. Yay. Almost on time. I was a little bit late as well, though, Gaz, so it's no worries at all. Darlene. Oh, my God. So the genes down my side of the family. So my mum and all her brothers and sisters, and then my granddad, obviously all on my mum's side. The genes are unbelievable. We're all identical, me and my cousins when we were babies. There was no mistaking this side of the family at all. So yeah, you can definitely tell one of us. Bless him. My son just turned 50. Gosh, Betty, how when you're only like 45? Hi, Matt. Sorry, I'm late. It's all right. I was late as well, Matt. Right. So, I think we've got nearly everyone here. So, what have we? We've been here 8 minutes. Well, I haven't been here 8 minutes. So, should we get on with what we're doing? I've got a few bits to show you, and I'm going to do a couple of. I've got a couple of cards ready to sort of go, so I should be able to fit all of that in. In 9 years, I can get a senior citizen discount. My mum always used to say, "Oh, I can't wait until I'm old enough for a bus pass." um, Gosh, I don't think I'm that far off. 48. My body feels 88. I must admit, at the minute, still having issues with my back. I'm due to go for an MRI soon, so just waiting for that appointment to come through. And then hopefully they'll be able to see what's wrong, sort it out, and I can start my walking again, because even just going up and down the stairs is so painful. But I can't complain really. I'm able to craft, and that's the main thing. At 55, you can get senior discounts here in the US. Can you? That's awesome. It's great. It's not like that over here. They take all those benefits away from you over here rather than give you I had a nerve block this morning. Oh, and I feel 100 now. I'm with you with that, Betty, definitely. Oh gosh. So, Winter's Daydream. It is just this one pad. No backgrounds and flowers and this and that. I've just got an everyday background pad. So we haven't released one of those for a while. So I've got a lovely everyday one, and it's snowflakes, and I thought it's going to work perfectly with this. So we will have a look through this. So I've got this one for you, but I've brought this in as well. So I'm going to show you this. So this is one of my collections from last year. This is a Winter's Delight. Oh, it matches perfectly, doesn't it? So this is a Winter's Delight, and it works. It's going to work so perfectly with this collection. So I thought I'd print one off, and then I'd show you that as well. And then if I just bring them over, we've got a lovely, this is the ombre pearlescent, and that's some snowflakes. And then this is the everyday background. But we'll go through this one first. Hope Benny's feeling better. He is. He's doing a lot better. Keeps giving me a heart attack, having to run him up to that hospital all the time. Right, let me put that somewhere. There we go. Right, so love that you named it that. It just seemed absolutely perfect. As I go through, you'll see why Shannon said it's a Winter's Daydream, because it just absolutely works perfectly for this collection. So if I lift the front off, and just, this is my favourite. I absolutely love the fronts and the way that we've sort of designed them. I love that sneaky peek of every piece that is sort of in there. So let's pop that to the side. So this is the first one. Now, even though it's those beautiful winter scenes, you've just got that pop of colour. So you've got these sort of, if I bring it a bit closer, there you go, look. It's like, it's a yellowy orange, it goes into sort of a pink and then into a purple. And it gives it that daydreamy effect, it really does. So it just absolutely works perfectly. So I'm going to bring this in as well. So this is A Winter's Delight from last year. And if I just quickly flick through, you can see that if you get this as well, you've got all those beautiful red robins, and the colours just match absolutely perfectly. So that is the first one. And then I remember when I was little, so I was like, really little, up until being about 14. Every year when there was a winter, it was a proper winter. We used to have 2, 3 foot of snow. I know some places in America, they have like 10, 12 foot, but we used to have so much snow and we used to love going out and playing in it. And it's almost like we just don't have that kind of winter anymore. So we've obviously got the next best thing, which is these paper pads. And I love it. It's just it's just a beautiful garden. And again, let me lean it forward because it shows you that colour that is sort of popping through it, which really, really works gorgeous. It does. It takes you back to your childhood, I think. They do work perfect together, yes. Imagine walking on that fresh snow. Absolutely. What did we watch last night? Oh, we watched Misery, Stephen King's Misery last night. And obviously I don't know if everyone's seen it, but there's scenes where, because 'cause there's been a blizzard and it just shows you these scenes of freshly snowed snow? Is that what you would say? And it was so thick and it was just the most beautiful scenery, it really was. It really got me in the mood for this today, it really did. So, and then this is the next one where you've got the snow in the trees here, and then you've got the icicles on those trees. It's a perfect winter collection. It's not Christmassy. Obviously, you can make it Christmassy if you want to, by adding and bringing in other things, but it's just a beautiful winter collection. So again, let me lean it forward because it really makes them colours pop a little bit more, doesn't it? So you've got those lovely purpley colours. And I love this. If I bring it up, sort of the reflection on that path there. And then just sort of a hint of colour. And so I love this. You've got the house in the distance. You've got that lovely gazebo. I love it. It really does remind me of winters when I was younger. I remember I had a friend who had over their front door, they had like a little porch type thing. And we used to try and slam the front door as hard as we could, to make it slide off. Um, you can imagine how many times her dad chased us off for doing that. But it's a must to be done, isn't it, in the winter? I love this one. It's sort of proper picturesque, isn't it? That little house just there. Perfect match. Anyone would think you designed these, Michelle. Right? Sometimes it's almost like I know what I'm doing. But I love this one. I love the path. It's almost you can almost it's see your reflection in it with the way that it's sort of been done on there. I do love this one. I love a sky that's got all those different colours in. So again, you've got the oranges, the yellows into that sort of purpley colour up there. It's my favourite thing to do when I get my inks out. If I'm creating a background, that is sort of my favourite thing to do. Those colours in the sky. I love to create those. I would also love that house. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. So you can see again, you've got the ability to fussy cut with these. You've got the ability to cut these up into sections, or if you're scrapbooking of the kids and the grandkids in the snow, building their snowmen. You've got stamps, you've got dies from many, many companies that are going to work absolutely beautifully with these. I love this one. I absolutely love those footprints right there. Great movie, love Kathy Bates. I love that movie. Um, every time I watch it, I watch it like I've never seen it before because it's just It's just brilliant, it really is. Ooh, so pretty. Thank you very much, Gaz. Yes, the ice storms, yeah, because you've got the sort of the icicle-y thingamabobs hanging, haven't you? Thingamabobs. Yeah, soft colours, it's just you want to go to the house. Yeah, me too, absolutely. So again, I love this one. It's just all about those beautiful gardens. But again, you know, you can be cutting sections of these out and it could be in any woodland area. I love the steps. There's just so much the bench, just everything about them. And again, because you've got the sort of the pops of colour, it makes it feel warm and sort of homey rather than just cold, you know, if you just had sort of the blues and greys. I just love them. So that is that collection. So that is, I'm going to just leave those sort of like this because I want to bring these in. So this is the one from last year. And you can see, I know they're only 6x6, so I'll hold them up a bit more. Sorry. Everything about it is going to work absolutely perfectly. So if you have got, for instance, that particular one and you want to fussy cut these, or if you've got, you know, obviously the 6x6 mat and layering it on there, it's going to work beautifully. But even the colour, so the pops of that frosted red berry is going to work perfectly with the pops of the colour working through this collection. Now, this one last year was all about sort of having a peek through those wreaths or the window into the most gorgeous, again, landscape, which is all going to work absolutely perfectly with this collection. And I love that one as well. But again, the robin can be very much Christmas or it can just be very much wintry. I love that one as well. So I know lots of you will have got this last year. I've had lots of orders again for this collection this year. I think now you can see how beautiful it works together. Because remember, my collections aren't a one and done. All of the collections that I've done from my first one are all still available. So when I'm bringing a new one out this year and it works perfectly with this one from last year, it's such a bonus, isn't it? So you can see I can bring any one of these forward and they're just going to work absolutely perfect. I love that one. I love all of these. And they're not dated. You know, they're not designs that have dated, that are not going to work again this year. They're not on trend, for want of a better word. It's not the latest thing. It's, you know, not going to work next year. They're classic designs that are just, I'm just looking for the front, there it is. They're going to work year in and year out because you're never not going to be sending or making cards with the robins or those beautiful sort of scenes and backgrounds. You're always going to be able to and want to sort of make with those. Sit that robin on the branch, absolutely. So don't forget that obviously they come in the topper sets where you're going to get, so you get a sheet of 3x3s, you get a sheet of 3x4, and then you get a sheet of 4x3s. So you've got those smaller elements in there that are going to be perfect for fussy cutting and then sort of layering up with this collection. Oh, just nearly dropped my phone. Maybe I should put it somewhere better. Oh. So that is, let's get it in properly. You don't have cardinal in the UK. No, well, I was watching something the other day and it said the robin is the bird for Christmas here in the UK, and the cardinal is the bird sort of for Christmas in the US. But I did do a collection last year um, with cardinals in. I think I did. Was it the snowmen? They all had sort of cardinals either sat on his flat or with him. Um, so yeah, so I've definitely liked. I did last year and I will this year. Covered the robins and the cardinals because I love the cardinal. I think it's the most beautiful bird ever. It's a bit more alternative, isn't it? He's really bold red and his little peak on his head. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Um, but I didn't know that, Shannon. I was watching it the other day and I was like, I didn't realise that the cardinal was not a UK thing because I've always loved and known about them. So both collections are stunning. Thank you very much. Right, so this is the pearlescent pad that is going to go with this collection. They're the most gorgeous sort of greys, and some of them are more ombre than others. But what I wanted to bring in was the snowflakes. So I thought they would just work beautiful. And if I lift it that way, it is the most gorgeous grey. So again, let me bring just this one in. Pick a random one. So the greys, they just, I thought they worked absolutely perfectly with it. So that is one. And then this is the second one. So remember, these do only come in the A4 size, but I just love the way the light hits it. They're just, and I thought, it's wintry, so we'll get the snowflakes out. So this is a bit darker. I will lay them all together at the end, and then you can see better the difference. It looks gold, must be the lighting. So if I bring it over for you. So it's an ice white gold dust is the paper that I use. It's almost like an oxymoron, ice white and gold. But yes, so especially when it's printed on, you can see it straight away, can't you? Look, that gold dust effect coming through. So I'm loving these. These are going to work beautifully with both those collections there, but they're also going to work if those collections are sort of not your thing. This most definitely is. So all different sort of shades of greys, and then we're going to be coming through into some a bit more blue, but you can see that this one has got more of an ombre effect on it, but lots of different snowflakey patterns on there. Michelle, will you do the snowflake papers in other ombre colours? Yes, I can't see why not. I think this one is the one that is going to complement for me what I've put as complements the collection that I'm releasing today. But yes, sorry, I got lost in that shimmer then. If I lean it that way a bit, you can see that sort of ombre coming through. And then the last one, again, it never really picks it up very, very well. But if I put them all together and just fan them out, it just allows you to see that they are all sort of different sort of colours or shades. So that is the pearlescent ombre with the snowflake. Talking of different colours, Anna Marie, so this is the everyday backgrounds. So I haven't released sort of one of these for a while, but this does come in the 12 by 12, the A4, 6 by 6, and no, it doesn't come in the toppers. So the A4 for an everyday background pad is a full A4 sheet. It just seems a bit daft. I've said it before, haven't I? Doing an A4 pad of an everyday background with an 8x8 and two 3x4 toppers on the bottom doesn't make sense. So if you get an everyday background, then what you're going to get is you're just going to get a full A4 of the pattern. So again, we've gone with snowflakes, and it's almost like a smoky effect on the background of these. And this is quite a light blue. And then we're going to move, obviously, through the colours. Pop those together just so you can see the difference in. So that's just a little bit darker. This is more grey, blue. I'm not even going to pretend to know names of colours. So we're almost going to go through a rainbow of colours with this one. Now let me lean that forward. So this is a lot more of a minty green than it's showing you there. So much more of a minty green. I'll obviously be taking pictures of these and popping them on, but it's a shame that's not coming up the colour that it is, because it's absolutely gorgeous. And again, this one is more green than it's showing on my screen. I don't know what it's coming up like for you. Oh, give me shiny. That is divine. So again, this is a lot more green than it is showing on there. But this pad is the same design. I've just gone for a multitude of colours. And what you get... Oh, listen to Ben making a racket. What you're going to get is 16 of these in the everyday backgrounds, and you get one of each sheet. The theme, it didn't pick up those greens. These are nearly spot on, but those greens just weren't. This is like a really dusky lavender. Oh, there, on that corner there, when I lift it forward, look. Really makes it pop, doesn't it? Then we're going to go through those purples. Now that's, again, it's showing up more blue. It is more purple here, like purple. And again, you see now that one it is showing up a lot better. I don't know. So every single colour that I have give you in these, you're going to pick up throughout that pad. So remember those colours in the sky. It's going to work perfectly with the colours in the bushes, things like that, are all picked up in this pad. I love that one as well. So let me see. Let's bring them back together. And if I put them all together, maybe it'll make that green pop a little more. It does. It looks more green next to the other colours than it does when I just held it up. So you've got a beautiful sort of rainbow of colours that are going to pick up on every single colour running through this pad. So you can see straight away, just from the front, you've got the yellows, the oranges, those purples, the dark blues, the lighter blues. They're all going to work absolutely perfectly with this collection. So now we've gone through all those. Love these. Navy nighttime, yeah, absolutely. Beautiful winter collection, thank you very much. Perfect winter's daydream, absolutely. I love these background papers. The colours are amazing. The colours are so much nicer than it's sort of picking up on here, which is unfortunate, but I do love it when you all get them home and then you post on the group page. Oh my God, so much nicer in person. Nicola's running out of space. I do apologise. Right, so we'll create a couple of little cards. Where is the cards with just a little bit of a difference? So both of these cards that I'm going to do now for you have got some lovely depth in them. Bee's had to order some new boxes. Right, so let me pop that to the side. So these are the toppers. These are the 4x3 ones that you can get in all of the collections. Right, so let me take this apart because I want those. I don't want that. Right. Sorry if you can hear my squeaky chair still. Let me just grab another piece. Right. So what we're going to start off with is, let me find my tape trimmer. So this is going to work for any size. It just has to be square. So what we're going to do is I thought both of my cards are going to be sort of a 6x6 in size. So we're going to cut this down. I want to cut this down to 10x10. So this is just some old pearlescent card that I've got from, it's just in my stack. I think it's some old CC stuff. And then we're going to bring this in. And what I want you to do is we're going to score it in half. So we're going to score. So if this is a 12x12 or it's a 4x4, whatever size you're doing, you're going to do it exactly the same. So we're going to score it in half. You're going to turn it round and score it right down the middle. And then I want to score corner to corner and corner to corner. So obviously on this, I can't do it because it's not long enough. If you've got your A3 one, then it's going to fit on there perfectly. But if, like me, you haven't got it, what we're going to do is we're going to fold those and I'm going to fold that over. So I'm going to pop. So I've got a line. You can see that I've got my line on the 6-inch mark. I'm going to pop that there. And then I can bring that round. So that obviously is the middle and that is there. I bring my hand in, open that up. And then we're just going to score to the middle. And we're going to do the same on all 4 sides. Exactly the same. So if you've just got a small scoreboard and you can't quite fit it on there, this is the easiest way to do it. So again, making sure it's all lined up. And then the last one. There we go. So now you can see all those score lines that I've got. So we need to fold and burnish. And then corners as well. And then the other way. Good burnish. They all need to have a good burnish. So what we're going to do is you're going to have those two, so your middle score lines, we want those folded up. So mountain, isn't it? And then these diagonal ones you want on a valley fold because I want to Or is it the other way? Bear with me. The thing is, if you a bit like me, you will sort of fold them both ways anyway to get them to fold nice and easily. So I'm going to grab those two corner ones, right? Turn it round so that it's the corner ones actually need to go up. So I just absolutely lied to you. So corner ones are up, those ones are down, and we're just going to bring it so it folds like that. And then I just want to open it back up. I just want to allow it to fold. So when we do what we're going to do with it, it's just going to fold really, really well. I think this is a 250, Karen. It's it was, you know, those crafters, well, I don't know, some of you might, Crafters Companion released some pads and it had some pearlescent in, and it had some textured cardstock in, and it had, I think they did like a white and greys pad, and then they did a pastel ones that had a blue, a purple, a yellow, and a pink in, and that's what this is. So when you're quite happy with that, make sure that everything's sort of nice and burnished. And then all we want to do, let me move that, is just on this one here, we're going to cut up to the middle. So either with your craft knife, your scissors, sorry, my mum called and wanted to talk. I love last year. Oh, that's quite all right. Do you know what? I'll let you off. I miss my calls with my mum. So I will absolutely allow, I'll allow that. Right, so I've cut right up the middle, just that one there. And all I'm going to do now is make sure, again, that it's just nice and burnished. Now, I've cut mine a little bit wonky. I don't know if you can see. So that one's a little bit wonky because, do you know what really bugs me? When we do one of these score lines, it's quite thick. And then when you want to cut it, it's like, do I cut it at this side of the score line or that side? So what I tend to do is I tend to try and cut it obviously as central as possible, but then I can fold it over and just trim, as you can see, that tiniest sliver away. And then what it does is it gives me the most beautiful straight edge, except for that little bit there that I missed. But if you need to go back in, do it. There we go. So this is what we have got so far. And then what I want you to do is I've already got mine ready. I used one, as you can see, I've used some grey pearlescent that I've got in my stash. So each one of these is 5 by 5, apologies. So I went down to 4 3/4 by 4 3/4. And then for the pattern, I cut it down to, I needed to add it up, 4 5/8 by 4 5/8. So this went down the 1/4 of an inch from the size of this. And then my pattern paper went down 1/8 of an inch. But again, the mat and layering is entirely up to you. I thought it worked nice for this, that I've got that wider bit there and the thinner bit. But again, you know, it doesn't really matter. I think we all like something different, don't we? Some of us like those wider ones, borders. Me and my jigsaws. Right. So what we've got is those. So this is the 10 by 10. Each section is the 5 by 5. And then we went down in whatever increments that you want. That's correct, isn't it? I've done it so my pattern follows on. Again, you don't have to. If you're using the snowflakes, it doesn't matter if your pattern doesn't follow. But you know me, and a follow-on of a pattern, I do like it. Thank you, Matt. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to pop some glue on this corner here. So let me bring this in because I've wrote on this one so you can see where I'm going. So I've got glue there. We're going to glue that one. Glue on this one, and the pole of that is going to be glued. So I'm going to start here with this one. So we just need to glue this. But remember, don't glue right to the edges because this is shorter. And it is easy to pop glue on that one than this because you don't want to go too far over because it needs to fold. Right. Now we're going to do it, look. So let's glue this. And again, not right to these edges. I'm going to line it up there and pop it down. Okay, so I'll give that a good burnish. I really like how you cut up the pattern and then recreate the jigsaw. I love to do that. I've always loved to do that with any kind of paper pad. But I think it's just to show you another way of you being able to cut up my paper pads. And then when obviously they're back together, you're still seeing that whole beautiful image. It almost takes a bit of the pain away of not, of having to cut everything up. So just giving that a burnish. Right, this one is where we're going to add glue next. So I'm just going to turn it round. And add that glue. And then my pattern obviously is going to follow on. Again, get that right in the middle. And then give it a burnish. Have I done it wrong? Have I done it wrong? No. That's right, isn't it? Yeah, my tree follows on. Oh, I panicked then. Was that from before? We need I know. We need a two-way thing so you can tell me when I'm doing it wrong. I need to invest in something. I really do. The bonus with this is look how, I can take it off really, really quickly. You will obviously pay a lot more attention than I am. Right, so it's this side, isn't it? Oh, thank God I didn't use Jamie Rogers glue. Deborah Sutherland, hello. I didn't know that you was on. I've been silent for a while, had family problems. Oh, I was supposed to be back in Florida a week ago, but God willing, I'll be home Saturday, 2 days traveling. I'm ready for a road trip. Oh gosh. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. But it's nice to have you on here. Right, now that's correct, isn't it? Let's try again. It wouldn't be one of my lives if I didn't glue panel on wrong. Right, so there we go. Now that's right. Lift and right swap. Yes, tell her Maggie. Look at you all. Right, so it's not quite dry yet, but what's going to happen is you need to be able to sort of lift them. Can you see? Obviously, I'll let those dry first before I carry on. Have I done it again? I haven't, have I? No, that's right. Hold on a second. Right, so this one is where we're going to pop some glue in. So I will just bring it back in again and show you because I went wrong with my pad. Glue this triangle, glue that one, glue that, and it's the whole of these. So it's glue one, miss one, glue one, miss one, glue one, miss one. Right, so the top, I'm just going to turn it round again so I don't get it wrong. And then there we go. So I know that it's not the snowflake pad that I've used, but can you see how that grey just really makes it pop? It's just, you could use black, but it's just a lot less harsh and it really just works with these papers beautifully. So I know this is from my stash. It's just a grey pearlescent. Right, and then the whole of this. I could have really just glued this one, couldn't I? But we're done now. Right. The only thing is, be careful with your seepage with this if you're using a pearlescent or a coated card, because it comes out, it does take the coating off the colour. So what you want to do now, and what's going to happen is that's going to fold up, and this one's going to fold over, and then this one is going to fold down. Now, I know my image is on the side. It really doesn't matter for that one. So what's going to happen is when we glue it in, it's going to clip open like that. And then it's just going to fold back up so easily. And it looks awesome when you open it. And then you've got that beautiful follow on of your design. So I'm going to put that to the side because I'm going to bring this in. So we're going to use this as the card base. So this is a 6x6 card base, but I have done 1/4 of an inch. That's another one of them words that I can never remember. That is 1/4 of an inch. I'm waiting for someone to tell me. Right, where's the rest of my bits? That is 1/4 of an inch spine. Thank you. Honest, do you know what? I can cope with everything else. I can cope with the sort of the night sweats, the not sleeping, the hot flashes. But it's the memory, it's the brain fog. It drives me crazy because you look a little bit weird when you can't remember a simple word. Make a sign you can hold up, darling. Right, so they're both 6x6s and then a 1/4 of an inch spine. So it's almost like a tiny little album. You just need that bit of width because obviously when you pop that in, it's not your card's not going to fold flat. So if you've just got a little bit of a spine, it's going to work beautifully. So then again, I've used that grey pearlescent. 5 3/4 by 5 3/4, and then that is 5.5 by 5.5. So we're going to pop both of those on the inside. So if I bring this in again and fold it back up. So it folds up really easily, which is why you need to make sure that, these are lovely and burnished. And then we're going to sit it there. Now, you can make these bigger and you can put them in an album. If you're making albums, you can put them in some little folios if you want. It's a lovely one that just folds in and out really, really easily. Right, let's get, there we go. I love the snowflakey effect. It's almost got, right, am I saying it right? Is it bokeh? The the I need like a sign language interpreter, don't I? Yeah, those circles, it's called bokeh. It's something to do. It's a particular photography phrase, isn't it? But you can get it, obviously Ben's done it on my pads for me. It gives that beautiful effect. Right, before I add this into the middle, I'm gonna pop that on the front. So again, I've got the grey to the background, and then I picked that so I'd use the rest of the page for something else, and that last little bit is just there, just beautiful bokeh effects. Thank you. I call anything I don't know the name of doodah or thingamabob or doodah, or if you've noticed, I tap something. So, for instance, I couldn't think of what those circles were called. So I tend to tap something until someone tells me. It just has to be done. So this is going to be my front. And I think if you've got someone who's just moved into a new home round about this season, it's just going to work perfectly. So I do have, so again, I've got some, I found these out a couple of weeks ago, and I've been using them on everything because I love the difference of the font. So I love the main word being that kind of font, and then this almost typewritten font at the bottom. So I just love how it works together. So I'm going to find, let me find a little bit of spare white card. Bear with me. There we go. And we're just going to stamp something on. I might just, but you don't have to use the big one. You can use the smaller ones as well. That thing, yeah. Oh, my daughter is moving out of October now. I must buy. There you go, look. So let's just put something nice and simple on there. I love this one. Look, all the best is yet to come. Let's just put it from the heart. So happy for you. So proud of you. I don't know. We'll open it up, and I'm sure I will pick one. Right, so let's bring that in. And I'm going to use this one because it's a pebble colour, so it's a grey, so it's going to work lovely. From the heart. So happy for you. So pop that on there. It's so hard to make decisions at the best of time, but when I'm trying to hurry up and pick one, it's even worse. So smudge that, love. Let's try again. I do have a stamping mat that I do use, but I've not got a clue where it's gone. So let's try this again. Oh, have I got something on it? Because it's done it. I must be a little bit damaged, that one. Let's try the next one. So proud of you. Try again. Third time's a charm. There we go. It's just a little wonky. There we go. Right. Let's move it along. Can you see how wonky that is? It goes up. Let's try again. Do you know what I'm going to do? Do you know what's easier? When you've got a stamp that's quite long, and every time I've tried to put it on there, it's gone wonky, just pop it down on your mat and then pick it up. Because then you're going to pick it up and you're going to pick it off, fingers crossed, straight. Because there's nothing more annoying. There you go, look, perfectly straight. So what was that? Fourth time's a charm. How do you use the rocker block without messing the words up? I have to use a stamping platform. I think it depends on your stamp set. Because as you just saw, that one particular stamp there for me, I think it's got a little it's got a little bit of damage or something. But 9 times out of 10, my rocker block works brilliantly, I've got to say. As much as I hate to say it. Shouldn't say that really, should I? So let's pop that there. But I think it's also, I mean, the amount of times that I've used it. I mean, being a demonstrator, I've used it so often. We are all a little wonky, Matt. Absolutely. That I think you just some things you do with your eyes closed, don't you? So then I'm going to pop this onto the grey so it all sort of works together. And then let's just trim that a little. There we go. So proud of you. And then this is going to go on the front. This is where it takes me so long to pick because I can never. Oh, I quite like that in the middle. Let's pop it on a bit of foam. Do have. There we go. So pop that on there. If I called everything I didn't know doodah, I'd need a whole new dictionary. I almost feel like I'm frozen when I can't figure out a word. I go silent because I can see it in my head. I can see the word, but trying to get it to come out of my mouth is just nigh on impossible. There we go. I'm quite happy with that. So we'll pop this on first. Now, before I pop this on, if you are adding this to an album or you've done this sort of a little bit thicker, you can pop your ribbon underneath here and then add that on if you want to do like a little bit of a ribbon closure. But I feel when I'm just doing sort of a card, I don't necessarily need that. So there we go. And then popping this in the right way. So open it up. So I know that it's this one that needs to be the right way up because if you remember when we close it, my design goes to the side. So then the whole of this just needs gluing. And then popping in the middle. Now, if you want to open that all the way up again, so you can give that a better burnish, absolutely. Right. Bring that back round. And then for this side, I've just cut a smaller, I think let's have a look, what size did I do? 4x4 for in there. So that's where my greeting is going to go. There we go. So there you go. So you've got something a little bit different, which again is going to work great as a card or as some sort of an insert into any of your albums. So it's just absolutely lovely. If you feel like you want to have something on this that keeps it closed, just a magnet, or but I didn't want to. I just think it looks lovely as it is, or a little belly band when it's closed. So attach a little belly band. I just love the effect of it. I think it's absolutely lovely. And it's just a brilliant way to use one of your bigger pieces of paper and still be able to see the whole design when we finally got it all in the correct places. So nice and simple. I think I might have wrote. Oh, I did. Look, I wrote it sort of down 10 by 10. So that's how you're scoring it. That's where you cut in. And your little glue tabs. Look at that. I even done the mats and layers. I'm sort of always half organised at the minute, like not 100% organised, like 50% organised, which is a bonus for me. Just ignore Ben crashing and banging about over there. He's making some he's making some tea. He's doing like some tandoori chicken and a taka dal and some barges and stuff. So that is my first one. And again, you know that I'm not going to decorate it up quite yet, but I think for me, what I do like to do, I think if you've got your white gel pen and you wanted to add some little sort of lines, you know what I mean, like your gel pen, don't. Where is mine? So if you want to come in with sort of your gel pen, just a few gems, or you can absolutely go to town with it. And again, on these, if you want to add stuff, but obviously the depth is not going to allow you to, then you can come in with these or some sort of, oh, what am I trying to think of? What's the word? Your spritzers and stuff. Your spritzers are going to work so well on these papers. So let's pop that one closed because I've got another one that I want to show you as well. And it's sort of along the same sort of style as this one. And again, I've got lots of pieces already ready. Because there's lots of obviously steps that you don't necessarily want to see me doing. So this is where I brought in this collection to work with it. So these are the 4x3 topper sets, and these are all those robins that I've just been showing you. So these are obviously the ones that are already ready, but look how beautiful they look. Absolutely gorgeous. And then obviously you don't want to see me do this 5 times, so you'll just see me do it one time. So let's pop those to the side. So for this base, again, I'm going to do the base afterwards because it depends on how many of these centerpieces that you add for how much of a spine that you need on this card. Those robins are perfect for gift tabs. They absolutely are. So again, it's a 6x6 base and we're going to add some depth to the inside. And again, I've already measured mine up. So I have got, so it is 3/8. You can't quite, oh, you can see it there. Look, mine is 3/8 of an inch. And then this is my tab that's going to glue to this one. So this is, let's do it that way. So I've done it 7 inches by 6, and then I've scored at 6 inches, and I've scored at 6 3/8, and then the rest of that is my tab that's going to glue onto this piece, which is 6 by 6 inches. So I'm going to pop that there for now. So I've got my mats and layers, one for the front and 2 for the insides. Now I'll turn it over. I've got this, like, it's almost a deep red burgundy almost, pearlescent that I used. I didn't have enough left to do my mats and layers, and I've only got this sort of brighter red, which looks awful with this blue. If any colours clash, it's those two colours. I just didn't like them together at all. So what I did was I got so I had a look, got one of my ink pads out, and I got my aged mahogany. So then all I did for this red card is we're just going to go around the edges, and we're just going to add that ink to it. And what it's going to do is it's going to give me a perfectly matching colour. Now, obviously that's pearlescent, so it's going to look a bit different. But I'd already done those, and I couldn't find another red that I had that was going to match, because I just had sort of offcuts of these. So if you're ever in a position where you sort of just cannot find the perfect colour, or you've run out like I did, then because there's not going to be a lot showing, just to ink the edges, just to sort of cover it up, it works perfectly. So let's pop that there. So now when I bring that in, it looks so much better. Than that side. I mean, look how, that's awful. That's the most awful. I'm not a fan of that red card, can I just say? But after inking it up and putting those on, I think it works so much better. So let's glue this on. So I did 3 of these, 1 for the outside, and again 2 for the inside. So looks like a lovely project I'll have to watch back. Missed chunks while on the phone. That's all right. I'll let you off. Such a beautiful and unique card. Thank you very much. Right, so we've got 3 of these. So my card is going to be 6 by 6. This is going down. So I've gone down quite a bit with this one. So just tell you, I went to 5.5 with the red by 5.5. And then I did just 1/4 of an inch. So you've just got that lovely little bit of burgundy red poking out. And then what have I done with them? Did you see where I put them? I did them over here. Right, so then what you also want is you need 5 pieces of white card. And I've done mine 7 by 4.5, and then I'm just scoring and folding them in half. So 7 by 4.5, and I've scored at 3.5, and then I've done the same with this. So I've got these to fit with a lovely thicker border around the outside. So we've gone with the red, 3 1/8 by 4, and then again just that 1/8 of an inch. So you've just got the pop of red. And then what we're going to do with these last 2 is I'm just going to glue those in. So again, you can see why it's always easier to do these inserty bits first if you've got a lot of depth and you know that you need to include sort of that spine, the depth with the spine. So let's pop that on there. Fine and level. That was so off center. There we go. So they just look lovely. They're just this is a nice fun way to use all those toppers. I mean, they obviously work perfectly as gift tags. But it's a great way to use those toppers up. So now I've got 5 of these. You could add a couple more if you wanted to. It's entirely up to you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold them all up and I'm going to pop them together. And on my mat, I'm going to measure how deep that is. So for me, it is just under that 1/2 inch. So hence why I've made my spine the size that I have, because it's going to fit that perfectly. So remember, that one's 6 by 6, and then I will tell you this one again, it's 7 by 6. And then on the long side, you're going to score at 6 and 6 3/8. So that gives me that spine, which is perfectly sized, and then a tab to glue it to the front. Right, so I'm just going to trim those wedges away, and then we'll glue it underneath. So pop that on there. There we go. It's on silent. Even my budgie is watching. Well, that's good. It means you're all paying attention. So there you go. You can see it a lot better on the white that I've got that spine. I might need to write that word down and then just have it to the side every time I forget it. Do you know what? If I wrote down every word that I forgot, it'd be bigger than the dictionary, if that's even possible. So so again, I've got that beautiful big border rather than, it's entirely up to you. You don't have to do that. I just thought it was something a little bit different. It's just nice to play with the sizes of those mats and layers. There we go. So that one. You can see how much nicer just inking that up has really made it. It matched a lot better. So we're going to glue all these together. So that one is going to glue there. And we're going to glue this one here. So you've got sort of 2 choices. If you want to glue, because they're all going to glue together and open up almost like a fan. So if you want them that far away from here, when you glue these together, just glue here. Sorry, just glue there. So they're going to open still a little bit. If you glue them fully together, you need to have that and that one right next to that border. Spine. Does that make sense? So if you're going to glue them all together flat, you need to have it right next to the spine. Okay, so when I bring that one over, I just tuck that in. It's going to sit like that. And when it opens, it will open in a bit of a different way. You'll still have that sort of rainbow shape coming, but it won't be as wide. If you bring that over and glue them further away, you just need to add glue there. So you just need to glue those 2. And then when it opens, you've got a little bit more give, which means that you can have it further away from that spine. Does that make sense? So I'm just having a look because they're all robins, but that one's got the children playing. So I want to have that one in the middle. So I'm still in two minds as whether I'm gluing them there or gluing them right next to there. I mean, I suppose the bonus is if you glue them right there, you can make them longer this way as well. And then, but you still need to be careful because if you make it longer and it sits there, it might poke out the top of your card. So let's do it that way. Entirely up to you. You can put let's do it with red liner because it's going to, me showing you, and it's going to be a lot more secure. So I've got this 12mm red liner. I think when you are creating anything that has got a lot of movement and it's maybe going to pull on it, it's always an added bonus to add red liner because you know it's not going to go anywhere. So you can get it off. Let me have a look. So let's pop that right down that edge and trim. And then where's this one? Right. So give that a good varnish. And line those two. There we go. So you can see, so when it opens, I've got that extra pullability. Right, so on the next one, we're going to do the same, just on that edge. Right, I want the children, don't I, in the middle. So again, pop that on there. And again, you can see how it's going to allow it to pull a lot further open. Designs as diamond art. Oh, that would be nice. Right. Last one. So I have just used 5, which has used 10 of my topper images. But again, you can add more in if you want. 5 looked quite nice when I was prepping earlier. And then last one, I do hope I've got all those the right way up, you know. There we go. So what you can see is it's going to come out and open and sort of look like that. So you're just sort of, you've got that lovely, almost fan effect if you wanted to do it like that. Now, if you don't want to do it like that, so obviously let's just fold that up from above, right in the middle, and see if I can do it. Grab that there on that one. So when it opens, it's going to open like that. Which I quite like, but I don't think I'm 100% a fan of it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue them all fully together and I'm going to bring it up to that spine. But then what you've got is I've got a lot of space there, which I didn't account for. So I'll show you what I'm going to do. So let's glue these together. So I'm just going to add glue there because it really, I don't need to go all the way in. Like so. Glue it all the way together. So I'm going to give that a second. And while I am giving that a second, let me stand something on it. Remember, I said we've got those sort of edge pieces. So get a piece of, well, whatever you want. If you've got some of your pattern paper still, if you've got some of the pearlescent, whatever paper that you're going to decide to use, then what we're going to do is we're just going to put a strip down both sides because there was too much space there for me that wasn't covered. So let me bring this in. I'm trying to be tidy. Trying is as good as it gets for me. Right, so what height did we say those were? 5.5. So 5. And then I think I'm just going to, well, actually, let's bring it in, pop it where it's going to go. And I think an inch is going to look nice. So I'm just going to cut 2 1-inch strips. And then we're going to pop them there. But it definitely needs a matten layer. So I could use that red. I don't have, oh, I tell you what I do have. I still have some offcuts of the pearlescent. So that's going to work. So if I cut them at 1.25, pop that on there and have a look, lay it down. I think that is too wide. I think it just needs to be that 1/8. So we will cut these to 1 1/8. And I think that's better than the 1.25. I do. That's a lot better, I think. Just that little border peeking through. Oops. If you've got if you've got some of those hunky dory release some stamps where the sentiment went down, so it said happy birthday down rather than across, you could put those on there. That would work lovely to have these sort of borders here as your sentiment strips rather than just pattern paper like here. That would look lovely. I don't know if you can you get hunky dory in the US? Don't know. Yes. Oh, that's brilliant. Right. So now that that's there, I can judge where I want to sort of put that. Now it looks so much better, doesn't it? That was just, it was just not right. It needed something. So I'm going to, again, I'm going to use the measurements on my mat. Let me bring it across to judge where to put this one. Just so I know where to put that one. Or you just measure, obviously, the width. So that is, oh, that's half an inch. So line this red bit up here with that, and then I know that this can go at that 1/4 inch one, and it's going to be the same as that side. There we go. And then all we need to do now is glue those in. To glue this side, and we're going to line it up with the spine. I feel like I've learned a new word now. Spine. So lift that up and make sure that it's going to sit nice and straight. That this is not hanging over that sort of score line too much. And then pop this glue on this side. And we're going to bring that over. And you can just push it in a little bit there if you need to. It's quite easy to make sure that that's sort of straight, and then give that a good burnish. So you can see that 3/8 of an inch is just sort of the right size. Now, before I go any further, done exactly the same on the front. We've got that, I think, did I say an inch? Half an inch. And you've got that lovely thicker border. And then it's entirely up to you what you want, what you're going to put on the front. But you can see how I've cut this one up, and it's still going to work absolutely beautiful, even in those sort of smaller sections. So let me see. So if I bring that, flatten it, and you're just going to have a bit of a play about with these just to allow them to, that's just a little bit wonky, allow them to have a sort of lovely fan effect. So you do need to, that's better. So mine have just gone down just a little bit wonky. And then these are going to sit open like that. And you can sort of flick through them. So what you can actually do is you could add pictures into there if you wanted to. Once you've flattened it, it just sort of, there you go. It just goes lovely. And when it's stood up, if someone's got this stood up and open, again, that looks absolutely lovely. So then all we're going to do is we're going to decide on what's going to go on the front. So here it is. Can never find anything, and always right in front of my face. So we're going to go down to, let's go down to, oh, actually, I think I'm going to use that bit. Go down to 4 inches. 4 by 4. I think that's going to sit there lovely. Now, I don't have enough red to do a matte and layer on that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in this red that I used earlier. So it's the aged mahogany. And I'm going to just run it along the edge. So when you do that, it's going to go over just a little bit. And it's going to give you that faux matte and layer. So now when I put it against there, you can see I've got that lovely follow on. So we can just glue this down now. And again, your sentiment, whatever it is that you're popping in the middle. It's just a lovely winter card, isn't it? And then when they open it, And you've got all your pictures, if they're pictures, when it's stood up, it looks lovely. I can tell you what I have got actually, what'll look nice on the front. I haven't decided on a sentiment yet. I've got this. So it's a Jamie Rogers one. I think he released it this year. And it's just a poinsettia flower. But what I love about it is it's all on one die. So it's all on one, so you can just run it through. You don't have to be placing all your individual flowers. So I've die cut some out already. And again, this is where you're going to play. You're going to bring in your foam mat and you can give these some real dimension. This is what I'm looking for. So just going to give it an S shape. So can you see? Just that S by just using my fingers. And it just gives it a little bit of depth and dimension. So what I tend to do is I tend to go that way with my scoring tool and then grab it there and just push it together. So the middle and the end, push it together. Put those together, the smaller ones as well. I also cut some out in that lovely one of those shimmer papers. Oh, Laurie, I didn't know that you had joined. Love it. Thank you very much. It does look like a mini storybook. I was being very careful with mine because, you know, if I pull it open, I'm going to end up ripping it off. So I'm just going to allow it to dry. So just folding again those round my fingers. So they're still keeping that S, but then I've added that little bit of shape as well. And I think I'm going to pop that. Obviously, you don't have to build it up with all of those. I think I'm just going to pop that on the corner. Decide on a sentiment, which is nigh on impossible for me. There we go. Let's move it up just a little. There we go. I don't know how many petals a poinsettia is officially supposed to have, or how many layers. Is there lots? I don't know. I suppose it doesn't really matter, unless you're going for the sort of real sort of look effect. Ben's here is going to tell me. For me, I like more is more. I like lots of layers. Just need a gem in the middle of that. Is a gold gem work? I think it's going to. There we go. So that, I love this. I'm going to be using this for all of my Christmas cards because I think it's the most. We'll bring it up. Can you see the embossed lines in there? Can't you? So that is, I think that's me done. Look at me. I've shown you my papers. I've done a couple of projects. So I'm not going to lay it flat now because I've got that poinsettia on the front. But you can see it is like a little storybook in the middle. So there's those two different ways to do it. You can have these further across and then obviously it opens in a bit of a different way. But it's just thought I'd just show you. Well, I came up with this one first and then I thought actually, so what we'll do is we'll do a couple where we've got a lot of that depth on the inside, but it's still a card. And then obviously that one. Now you don't have to do, obviously, the full bit. You could just have those mats and layers on the inside. I've really I had a million ideas of things that I wanted to do and not enough time. But I just think it makes a beautiful, new home card or something like that. Mini storybook, love it, thank you very much. I bought some flocking powder to add some. Oh, I haven't used that for years. I might have to get some. That will look amazing. Does Jamie Rogers sell to the US? I want to say yes, but if you go to his, because he's selling on, it's Hobbycraft that he's selling on now, isn't it? I know he's got his website because he's got Creative Expressions under the umbrella of his brand now, because he bought Creative Expressions and he also bought something else as well. So I really want to say yes, but if you go look at his website, it will definitely tell you for sure on there. But yeah, I love, it's gorgeous poinsettia, isn't it? It really is. The 4 square one would be perfect in a 12 by 12 scrapbook. It really would. It absolutely would. So those are my two projects. And then if I just quickly bring these in without throwing everything on the floor. So these are what I'm bringing you today. So this had a Winter's Delight. This is my release from last year. So if you buy anything from this release now, you can get 40% off the A Winter's Delight collection. So if you buy in from the new release today and you want any of the sizes in the release from last year, there's 40% off that. So this is that gorgeous background pad. So I'll just quickly show you a few. And then the main card, which obviously you've just seen me working with. And then you've got the pearlescent. Oh, it really picks up that ombre there, doesn't it? I should leave them all in, in the sleeve. Right, so I think my tea's done as well. Ben's over there cooking, which is why you've heard all the banging. He's doing Indian for tea. So apparently when he gets one pan out of the cupboard, he has to drop 3. So if you do recreate any of these projects, please do share either on the group page, or if it's Shannon, email me and I'll share it to the group page. But I would love to see sort of your takes or your versions on these, as always. Oh, Laurie, I wish you could. So he's made it from scratch. I wish you could smell it. He's doing like cauliflower bhaji. He's doing some taka dal and some tandoori chicken and some rice. Look, it says here, look, have a look. That's a cauliflower bhaji. Oh my God, my mouth is watering now. I know, my grandson's first birthday tomorrow. I will give him lots of cuddles. Definitely. Are you hungry now, Laura? Right, so if you've got any questions, if you've got anything that you want to ask, anything that you want me to make on a future live, I'm happy to do that. All my details are below, my email address and all my socials. If you wanted to pop an order in, again, email or all my socials, it's entirely up to you. If you order anything from today's show, then you can get 40% off last year's A Winter's Delight in any of the sizes. So it's the 12 by 12, the A4, the 6 by 6 and the topper set. So yes, let me know. I love making curry dinners. I can't cook for toffee. I can do a Sunday dinner or a Sunday roast, and that's as good as it gets for me. But no, Ben can cook anything and everything, which is a good job, really, isn't it? So I'm going to let you all get off. Again, the likes and the shares are just as important to me as as you guys who do purchase anything at all. And again, anyone who orders within the next 24 hours will get one random parcel, will get a random free gift in there. And then what I'm going to quickly do now is I'm going to scroll through the names of everyone who's commented, and I'm going to pick a name, just whoever it stops on. I'm going to pick a name, and then you will win a paper pad as well. So B. Me too, had to order some new boxes. So B, obviously, do you email me or do you Facebook me? Whatever it is, B, pop me a message and you can pick a paper pad of your choice. Right, so thank you very much. B, congrats. Lots of congrats coming through for B. Toodle pip. I love that. I haven't said that for such a long time. If it doesn't go in the oven or microwave, I don't fix it, lol. That sounds about me. Yeah, that's me. I'm not a chef at all. But when I do go into the kitchen and say, oh, I'll do something, and I'm cooking away, Ben will come in and he'll add some seasoning, or he'll say, oh, just do this. And then he ends up taking over. So, there's no point really, is there? Next Thursday, I am going to be doing one of the advent calendars. It's probably going to be the truck, the Coca-Cola truck type thing. So that is going to be next Thursday. It is. Where's my phone? Yes, next Thursday. Congratulations. Yes, congrats to B. Have a great weekend. Yeah, all of you have a great weekend. I'm going to have a fabulous day tomorrow. Can't believe he's won. It's a little bit crazy. Won. So likes, shares, loves, all of that, just as important. And it obviously means that more people are seeing. So all that sharing as well is just awesome. Next Thursday, an advent calendar. And yes, I'm trying to think if I've got anything else to say, but I haven't. I think I've covered it all. So happy snuggles tomorrow. Thank you so much. Enjoy your grandson's birthday. They do grow up so fast. So thank you so much. I'm glad that you enjoyed the projects, and I will see you all next week. Thank you very much. See you later. Bye-bye.